Hello, my lovely Natsukis. It's your bestie Summer, and I am reading this chapter literally same night, exact same night, like right. I just finished recording and editing chapter 1 of this, like just now. Like I just finished it. Because I figure I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm having a lot of fun with this, so why not? Like, I don't care about what I have to do tomorrow. I don't care that I have to wake up at like 8 or 9 in the morning tomorrow, because I'm having fun and I am on a roll. I am on a fucking roll. My mom actually came in and was like, "Are you reading to yourself?" Because they don't know that I do this, because I refuse to tell my family. But my besties know, like two or three of my besties know. I'm really hoping my family doesn't find this, because but anyways, my mom was like, you should totally read as your job, because you were reading really smoothly. And I was just like, yeah, I like to read out loud, because it's true, I do. Reading out loud is so fun. Like, I love it. It also helps me like focus more for some reason. Like, I can actually like take in what I'm reading a bit more. So like, the more I know, I guess. But anyways, this is part 2, chapter 2 of It's a Reflex, a DPXCC Podfic, written by Coffee Loving Hermit and read by Summer Audio. I hope you guys enjoy. Who's the kid? Duke stared gobsmacked at Jason for bugging Bruce on a call. He quickly watched Bruce to see what he would do, because he's being in a pissy mood these past few weeks. All he did, though, was just sigh heavily and mumble, "Never should have gotten kids." Dick, meanwhile, just decided to die or something. Hard to tell if this family is actually dying or not like it matters to them. "My son, stop bullying your brother, Jason. You're an adult, so stop picking fights with kids." Bruce went back into his phone call after apologizing about the interruption. Duke and Jason looked at each other, shocked that Bruce actually forgot to tell them about a new little brother. He looked over to see that Dick and New Kid were having a staring contest, which Dick politely lost. For some reason, Bruce had trained for not blinking. Very weird, but Dick also made it his life goal to be the best at it, so he could scare his siblings in the hallways at night. Well, he's on the chandelier again. The three of them just stared at New Kid, putting away his stuff before Duke's manners caught up to him, and so he introduced himself. "Oh man, New Kid is so adorable. Is this what Dick feels like whenever a new sibling shows up that doesn't try to kill him? Or even when they try to kill him? Dick's weird like that." Duke smiles at the ray of sunshine, who sadly seemed nervous with Jason around, which fair. Jason doesn't really have a good track record of handling surprise brothers all that well. When Danny paid attention to Dick, Duke sighed at Jason to cool it with the glaring. The poor kid looks like he's one scoff away from bolting. After all of that was said and done with, Jason being pissy at Bruce for getting another kid instead, Danny confirmed that he is, indeed, their newest sibling. Kinda fucked up of Bruce to make Danny take a tour by himself, though. All of us are literally here right now. Okay, now Duke is also starting to get mad at him too. At least Dick was able to release some of the group's tension by poking at the hangry bear. Probably the only reason why he's not beating the shit out of Bruce for not telling him about his newest little brother might be because Danny's watching. Bruce is so lucky right now. Dick and Jason pissed off and teaming up is terrifying. The shock of no longer being the newest kid in the family started setting, and Duke only caught half of what Dick was saying. Damn, was he talking about why they were here? Because there's no way in hell that Dick is going to be forgiven for interrupting study time, even if I was one of the first to meet Danny. Words slipped out of his mouth before he could realize what he was saying, and the only thing preventing Duke from cringing was the fact that Danny was staring right up at him. This is why you don't zone out in the middle of conversations. Get your head in the game, Duke. Luckily, Jason decided that he had enough of Dick's shit, and the only thing Duke could do to elevate his nerves was by chuckling. Oh man, Danny is really adorable. This family needs more happy people in it. After Bruce shared with the class why he was talking on the phone so intently, Duke tried to catch what he was looking at. Mothman? There's no way. No, I refuse. Duke felt Dick side hug him, so Duke walked with him to the front of the building. That has to be a prank call, right? Or maybe the caller somehow mistook Man-Bat for Mothman? It wouldn't be the first time that a non-Gothamite did that, but still. Oh, maybe this could be used as a bonding activity for Dandy and the rest of the Bat fam? Shaking himself out of his thoughts, Duke turned his head to look at Dick. Hey, Dick, apparently Mothman was sighted at Craig Bridge. Want to take Danny out and investigate it? Siblings only? Dick beamed at him and was about to answer when a quiet voice stopped all of them. Both of them stared at the newest family member, and Duke saw that Danny was starting to get nervous. There's only one way to get Dick out of the "my little brother is being cute and doesn't want to murder me" trance. Sorry, Dick. Jabbing his elbow into the eldest's rib and calling him out on the staring felt kind of rude, but that was better than Danny not feeling comfortable enough to stop using nicknames. Dick, out of everyone, deserved this. The poor man has like 3 homicidal siblings. After Dick pounced on Danny to give him his certified big brother hugs to stab for TM, he couldn't help it. Duke took out his phone to get a good shot of Danny looking shocked and resigned at the hug, while Dick was clearly trying not to bawl out in the open. Yeah, Dick does deserve this. It'd be funny if he also tried to get guardianship of Danny like he did with Damien. Eventually, though, he could tell that Danny was starting to hate the hug, which that wouldn't do. Reminding Dick that they just met the kid only let him be more dramatic. Not to mention the family story sharing already happening. The memory of Tim's 3-day no-sleep bender made Duke smirk a little, but Danny looked deeply concerned for Dick just made them both laugh. And Dick struggled to explain what happened. Wow, Dick, I leave for a minute and you already got emotional and telling stories. Apparently Jason finished his talk with Bruce. Duke looked over Jason's unnecessarily large shoulder, only to see that the personnel office elevator was already at Tim's and Bruce's office door. What took Jason so long to come back if Bruce had already taken the elevator? Duke saw a car pull up out of the corner of his eye, and he began dreading what he would see. He slowly turned around, and yep, his fears were confirmed. That maroon suit jacket was used by the personnel Wayne Villettes. The Villette gets out of the car, and Duke feels his will to stay alive shrivel up and die when he realizes what the car was. Not even the giddiness of getting a little brother could hope to weather against the dread of being in Bruce's Mercedes, Maybach, sedan, with 3 other brothers. With the fastest route to Bristol out, they were going to have to take the longest route back to the mansion. Duke very much did not want to get stuck in a sedan with an excited Dick, a pissed-off Jason, thankfully just towards Bruce, and a distracted Bruce. Danny didn't deserve that fate either, so he's really hoping that Jason would just drive his own damn motorcycle back, which is a pipe dream. There's no way that Jason's going to pass up on the getting to know Danny train. Which one is worse, stuck next to the angry building or the cuddly octopus? Duke really actually hopes that Jason would drive his motorcycle back. He looks up at the sky and crosses fingers and mutters, "Please have Jason drive back on his motorcycle." At that, Jason just smacks the backside of his head. Yeesh, really feeling the love here, Duke. Just for that, I'm a ride with. Jason crosses his arms, and Dick met his glaring. The start of the front seat began, and Duke just straight up didn't want to deal with the future catfight. After mentally volunteering himself to back middle seat and starting to drag Danny with him before the two started fighting for the front seat, because as the big brother, I get shotgun, and as the biggest brother, I need the space. The fight is about to start, and Duke knew well enough by now to just wait them out instead of trying to break up the fight. He also wasn't cruel enough to let poor, new, non-murderous, uncorrupted, innocent little brother Danny hear or be exposed to all of that just yet. Getting him into the car was pretty easy, but Duke forgot that they both have heavy and space-taking backpacks on. Shrugging, he tossed his in the front seat and gestured for Danny to do the same, who shook his head, which fair. Whichever brother that won the fight can be a good older brother and deal with it. There's enough space up there anyways. Looking out the window, he can see those two going at it already. He can even hear their muffled shouting, and they were 20 feet away from the car. Those two, really. How's that volunteering thing going? Oh, Danny must be trying to get used to talking in code. It's going as it does. I'm sure you can imagine how tough it can get. I remember how awkward it was when I first moved in. Does Danny just see me as the easiest brother to talk to? It's nice that he's trying to get some practice in on talking code. Are you gonna join us on the volunteering work? We could always use more feet on the ground. Danny's face scrunched up as he shook his head a little. No, I want to focus on school and keep doing my extracurriculars before I think about adding more stuff to my schedule. My grades only just started to improve. I don't want to risk them dropping off again. Maybe after I graduate? Duke can't fault him on that, and it's a relief that Danny wants to at least wait until after school before getting in on the Cape scene. He can hear the shouting slowly getting closer. Besides, after my accident, I want to look more into safety standards for labs and aircrafts. It was a hard recovery, and I won't be the same again. But there's a few upsides. Oh, that explains why Bruce adopted him at least. Though it was pretty weird that Danny told him that he's also a meta in such a roundabout way. Wait, does this mean that Duke can finally be a favorite older brother? Because there's no way he's letting Danny join Dick's gaggle of little brother ducklings if he can help it. I was willing to let Dick be the favorite, but now I'll fight him to be Danny's favorite. That's alright. It's a hard job, so I won't blame you for wanting to wait before making such a big decision. Hell, if you don't want to, then you don't need to do any volunteering work. I won't blame you if you don't, and I'm sure the others won't think less of you. Duke smiled at Danny and put a hand on his shoulder. The only thing that matters is that you're happy and do what you want to do, and enjoy doing it. If you let others decide your life for you, then you are never going to be happy. Sometimes the people you love won't understand why, but if they can't learn to support you and respect your decisions, then they don't fucking deserve you. Danny, I just met you, but I can already tell that you're an amazing person who others can depend on. It's alright to say no to others and take care of yourself, even if you feel it's wrong to do so. You're not alone. His newest brother got misty-eyed, and he's already in the habit of pushing down his emotions. Great. Danny already fits in the family. Others depend on you. You just need to remember that you can depend on others too. We're here for you. I'm here for you. Thanks. Yeah, I needed to hear that. Though I wasn't expecting such an emotional speech. If everyone else is good at working with you, I think I won't have to pay for therapists. Danny wetly chuckled and wiped at his eyes. Should I tell him? Let him know that he's not the only meta in the family? I doubt that Bruce would tell Danny that I'm a meta, especially if he doesn't introduce him to us yet. Danny, when you mentioned your lab accident, he felt Danny tense, so Duke squeezed his shoulder before letting go. Did that turn you into a meta? His face paled, and his eyes darted to the car door. It's just, wait, it's alright. Danny paused in opening the door and looking back. You're not the only one. I'm also meta. Here, let me show you. He dipped into the pool of shadows inside the car and cupped some of the darkness into his hand and shaped a baseball-sized ball of pure shadow. Hearing the small gasp, Duke looked at Danny and smiled at his awe-filled face. You can do that? Danny reached out and hovered his hand around the ball, so Duke softly held one of his hands and let the shadowy ball roll into Danny's palm, then let go. He gasped again and almost dropped it, but he brought his other hand over to hold it and started moving it around. Danny really is so precious. Yeah, I can do it. I can do more than that, but we're in public right now, and I like to keep the fact that I'm a meta on the down low. You never know who might use that knowledge to target me, after all. Duke glanced outside the window and saw Dick and Jason standing at the bottom of the steps looking at him, and both were smiling. Dick mouthed, "Is he also?" Which he nodded, and Dick looked like he melted, while at the same time looking like he was about to break another chandelier out of excitement. Jason gave him a nod and a thumbs up before slinging an arm around Dick and dragging him around to face the WE building, but stayed in the same place. I guess I'm also a meta. Duke looked back at the other boy and saw him holding the ball back to him, so Duke just let the shadows flow out from the shape. Danny went wide-eyed but kept talking. I'm still not exactly sure, but I do have powers and stuff. Maybe we can show each other what we can do, because we're not alone. Duke couldn't help. He really couldn't. He smiled at Danny and hugged him, and Danny hugged him back. Together, they sat there in the back seat of an overpriced car, hugging and laughing and crying, holding on to each other. Together, 2 grains of sand, against the deep, dark depths of the scars of their hearts and the cold currents of the world forcing them to always move against their will. And that was part 2, chapter 2 of It's a Reflex, a DPXTC podfic written by Coffee Loving Hermit and read by Summer Audio. I finished reading this in 30 minutes. Ha! Take that! I usually take way longer than that because I usually stutter a whole bunch, but I wasn't stuttering at all throughout this. I did have a few stutters here and there, but my stuttering is getting better. See, that's another reason I decided to do this, because I have really bad stuttering, and this is actually helping with that. It's really therapeutic. I really enjoy it. I get to read stories. I get to talk better, sort of, a little bit, kind of, maybe. I get to do something while I don't sleep, and I get to draw, and I get to read, and people get to listen to that reading, and people enjoy it, and I love that. It's literally amazing, because when I'm older, I want to make, it, a job, sort of, to, read actual books and stuff, and, I don't know, it's just, but that is the end, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. Bye!